This video is about a little box called Playdate.
I love it. What is it?
It's a new thing. It plays games.
I already have a thing that plays games.
Me too, but this is a little different.
We wanted to try something different, and so we did the most difficult, different thing that you could possibly.
Let's take another look. Say hello to Playdate.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks. That means a lot. Here's a hand. Playdate fits right there. There's an A button, B button, D-pad, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, USB-C, all the hits.
Wait, what's that thing?
That's the
Crank.
It's a crank.
Yeah, seriously, what is it?
The crank. You crank it, like this. It can control the games. It's fun. Now look at this. The display, extremely high resolution.
Is there a backlight?
No, but the screen is super reflective. You can even play it by candlelight.
Really?
Maybe. Playdate was dreamed up by this company called Panic. They're in Portland. They love making things. And this is the first time they've made hardware. So they got a little help from this company called
Teenage Engineering.
They're over in Stockholm. This guy named Jesper came up with the idea for the crank.
Okay, so who makes the games?
Some people you've heard of, some people you haven't.
You are so mysterious. I love it. So what are these new games they're working on?
That's the best part. You won't know what you're getting, not until they Wi-Fi themselves into your Playdate. You know that feeling when...
That's a great feeling.
And that's what Playdate is all about. A game appears, and then a week later, you get a new one. It's like a season of TV.
A mystery surprise game that could be basically anything?
Now you're getting it.
How long is the season?
12 weeks, 24 games, all season long. You and her and that guy over there and everyone else will be enjoying these mystery surprise games you can't play anywhere else.
We'll let
and
the
also
video
this, every
finish
Playdate
out.
can be used to make your own games.
We'll get started.
So, what do you think?
All right, I'll do it.
Great. Ready for your Playdate? Oh, and you can also get the snap-on dock with the speaker and a place to hold your pen.
Oh my god.
This video is about a little box called
So,
Playdate.
bad news, everybody.
I love it. What is it?
Yeah, if anyone was specifically looking forward to the that radio, that speaker pen holder thing, that's been canceled. They had some kind of manufacturing complications, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to produce it. But on the bright side, unlike a lot of weird sort of niche bespoke retro or retro inspired systems, this one actually came out, and we have it right here. Hey everybody, my name is Supertrain Station H. I'm an autistic gamer and writer, and today we're going to be playing Panic's Playdate, a system that came out in... thank you, Clackaboy. Hold on, I forgot to move the... Where's the alert? We need to move my alert box to the forefront of my layout. Where's the layout? Where's that layout at? There we go. Yeah, that's one thing I forgot to test. This is a brand new layout, which I don't make very often. Let's replay that alert right there. There it is. It's Clackaboy with another sub. Thank you. No, he only subbed once. He did not sub multiple times. And, of course, any level of support is deeply and sincerely appreciated, whether you're just, whether you're active in chat, whether you're standing guard in my silent squad, or whether you're, use tips on my Ko-fi link, or actually subscribe. Everyone who follows me, and by the way, if you are like what you see and want to follow me, my follow alerts are anonymous, so there's going to be no pressure to, no one in chat's going to be calling you out. I'm not going to be, inviting you to participate in chat if you don't want to. You can just keep on lurking and keep it to yourself. Any level of support and viewership is deeply, deeply appreciated. And everyone who follows gets cute little free doorworm emotes. And anyone who subscribes gets my Lunarian H emotes of me. So today we're going to be playing the Panic Playdate. It's a system that came out in 2022, I believe, by a former publisher, now hardware manufacturer, Panic. Yeah, Panic. And as you saw from the video, Teenage Engineering, a firm in Sweden helped them do the engineering on it and the design for it. They came up with the idea to have a retractable crank, and I really wish we lived in a universe where the Nintendo DS or 3DS were as easy to stream using legitimate hardware. Yeah, it actually has a black and white screen, but it's not like the Game Boy. No, it's not like the Game Boy at all. It's actually a very high resolution screen, and it does not have a backlight. However, it has this unique reflective property that I've never seen on any other black and white device screen before, where where basically, if you have enough ambient light to read a printed page of a book or a newspaper, if the latter of such still exists, you have enough light to reasonably play the games. Of course, if you're sitting directly under a reading lamp, it's going to be best, or under direct sunlight. But yeah, it has a reflective property it's not going to be like playing your original model Game Boy, back in the 90s. Now, I wish the Nintendo 3DS or any other major handheld, Switch, solves itself with its docking solution system. But all you have to do is plug in a USB-C, and there's a free program you could download from Panic called Mirror, and it, as you can see, it records your button presses instantly. That's simply it. It just records your button presses, and you could start running the game. So, okay, I'm going to do something. Okay. 3, 2... Okay, no, actually, I don't know how I'll do this, okay? Actually, I'll have to do this after this. So when you first turn on your Playdate, you get this cool intro that you have the option to skip. Fortunately, it gives you the option to replay it. I want you to see how you first turn on this system. And yes, I'm playing this on the actual system connected via USB. I'm holding it in my hands right now. So we have the Q on the screen and the on the left there on the D-pad to press up. Now right, so it's kind of like an equipment test thing as we assemble the system. Down and left. Directions are okay. And now we've got our A. And notice on my that it shows which buttons I'm pressing on the little frame around the game. So B. So A and B are good. And now we have the retractable crank, one of the most unique features of the system. It's not used to charge the system, it's only used to control the games. Oh. Excuse me. Okay, I accidentally... There we go. Okay. So if you see the rotating, it visually represents, like when I'm at the 12 o'clock position on the bottom of its spin, it'll be there on the graph, and then at 15 after, 12 after, a quarter to, and it actually visually represents how I'm spinning the crank. So in the games that use the crank, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So we go ahead and spin that crank, which is sort of like a fishing line. All the little contraption, and you can rewind it too. You can see all the little gears and sprockets. There we go. Yeah, the system itself is kind of the mascot for the platform. Alright. Okay. So here we are at our main screen. So game library here. No, that's not actually what we want. What we want is okay, so season 1 here. So these are, when they talked about the games coming in what they refer to as seasons. Like, so when this came out, let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23 games. And because of the staggered release, the idea was that these games would come out once per week. They'd automatically download to your system. It was a surprise that what game you'd get. and everyone would get the same game at the same time. And the idea was that it would be kind of like a book club where everyone's experiencing the same games at the same time. So you have sort of this sort of community experience of playing these games for the first time. But the first game I want to play, actually, is Hyper Meteor here. The first season comes with the price of the game. I think it launched at like $150, and now it's either $150 or $200, and now I think it's $230. The price went up due to tariffs and taxes changing. And I know there's a lot of negativity, like, oh, why would you pay so much money for these rinky-dink games? But that's like, oh, I'd pay $20 for that system. There's no way. This is not a cheap toy. Like, and one thing I'd say is it's very delicate to keep the USB cable in the right spot. But we'll start with one of the games that is played using only the crank, well, and the D-pad. So this is kind of like Atari Asteroids. Pressing forward on the D-pad launches propels the ship forward, and turning the crank rotates it. See, look, I'm rotating it clockwise, now counterclockwise, and what you're trying to do is strike the white portions of these meteors, and do it rapidly in order to build up a combo there. So we got oh, doggone. Okay. Alright, that didn't go very well, but we're just getting the feel for this right now. And so this is what Panic themselves made several of the games, but many of these are by the smaller, oh, doggone, by smaller third-party developers. Now, so if we come around, I'm getting back into the groove of haven't spent a whole lot of time playing this on the computer screen, because I'm looking at my computer screen as I'm playing this, actually. So this is like Asteroids. Effectively, this 2D plane is representing a sort of a Mobius loop, or kind of like as though this game was taking place on the surface of a sphere. We're going going out the top, and I come back out the bottom. You know, it's not like there's an edge to the play field. So when I go to the right here, I got to keep an eye out on my left and make sure I don't crash into that meteor. Okay, there we go. So I don't know if the level progression. So now we have these other ships that are oh, doggone. These other ships that are trying to ram into us. Now when we respawn, we have a few minutes of a few moments to. Yeah, these are. Yeah, we got it. We got one of those. We got those ship there. Yeah, we want to try to aim for the white parts of the meteors. There we go. Because the other side is indestructible, and we'll lose a ship if we do that. 8, 9 hits, 10. All right, and the hexagonal ones are my favorites. Now the crank, it has very little resistance. It doesn't feel like I'm doing work spinning it. It's very smoothly gliding. Okay. Bam. Okay. So I have to start dealing with this a bit like playing Helios on DOS, where your instinct is to just jam in the direction. Oh, I've never seen that sort of. I never got that far in the game, I guess. Now Azurest is saying it's interesting gameplay. Yep. Let's take a little sip of water. All right. And we lasted for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay. Uh, 12. Yeah, I'll play this for a little while longer. Yeah, I intend to cover a variety of games. Okay. All right. Yeah, because I've got over a dozen games on this. Actually, probably close to like like maybe around 30 games I have on here. The now you get like 20 something games as part of the season, as they call it, and you can have it set up so that it'll just download all the games immediately, or it'll sort of drip feed you one game a week. Eventually, like early this spring actually, they came out with it was in April. They came out with a second season, so they curated another 24 or however many games, and they had another season. And this time, since a lot of the Playdate owners already had their systems, it would be more true to their original vision for everyone to be able to play the games at the same time. That didn't really happen the first time around, since everyone was sort of drip feeding. No, they're not going to make a color version of this. The point of this, the limitations are the point of this system. I can't even say whether or not they necessarily saved money by having it be black and white. Yeah, I don't know if this is a custom screen that they had to order. Yeah, it's they specifically wanted this to be a black and white system. Like what? And like the Game Boy, which displayed 4 shades of gray, or 4 shades of pea soup or cabbage green, as well as just the white of not having anything on display at all. This system could specifically display either only perfect white or perfect black. But through the use of different dithering and stippling type techniques, they can very convincingly simulate different tones of gray. And it's really, I think a lot of the appeal of this system, to me, is the way the different developers they know exactly what they're working with. So within the limitations of what this system can display, they've come up with very interesting ways, very unique art styles. I mean, not very unique, they are truly unique. There's nothing else like it that have been developed specifically around this art style. The way characters are designed, the way gameplay concepts develop. And for someone who plays so many original Game Boy games on my stream, this isn't too. I mean, in terms of the audio, and in terms of like the complexity of the graphics, this is kind of an AV extravaganza compared to, you know, Super Mario Land or Alleyway or those other games I tend to end up playing on Game Boy. You know, I do need to go back doggone. I do need to go back sometime and finish Super Mario Land 2, because I played that game years ago, back in my, when I was streaming on webcam more often, and I got all the way to Wario's Castle, and I never beat that stage, and I'm like, come on, if I could beat this, following my mom around with my Game Boy in the supermarket back in the 90s. Doggone. Yeah, and I think there's a button for smart bombs. I think I accidentally used one. Yeah, but a lot of the games tend to have sort of funky, groovy kind of music. I don't know like what to call it, but just sort of like funky music. Like it's, this sort of music. I don't know what this. I'm not sure what. I don't know. Is this considered trance? I don't know. Alright. Be very cautious around these ships. There we go. Oh, oh yeah, this is as far as we got last time. Oh yeah, I've never... Okay, so we need to... Yeah! Yeah, those ships you have to... Very tiny window to, There we go. Nice. Yeah, 5. Oh, no. Okay. So we want to... Bam. Yeah, we'll use... I wasn't sure whether or not I was actually going to strike the target there or not. So I just went ahead and used the last of my bombs. 10 hits. Yeah, I'm getting a... Yeah, I'm playing a lot better now that I'm slowing down quite a bit. Oh, a new type of enemy there. Bam. Okay, those triangles. They're like shurikens. Alright, yeah, so even if I hit these... Even if I hit in reverse, it still counts as a hit. Oh, okay. Oh, aha! That's game over, I think. 970. Nice. New score. New high score. Okay. Alright. We'll play this for like 12 more minutes and move on to the next game. Alright. Alright. So, we... Okay. Oh, I accidentally unplugged the system. Yeah, and it does not pause when you accidentally unplug it. And I don't mean, when I say unplug, I mean I very gently... Now, I'm using a USB-C cable with this sort of elbow connector, so I can hold it more naturally in my hands and operate the crank and everything. Yeah, the system is in my lap. I'm not looking at the device itself at all. And Mecha Kong is saying they have like 10 games to play on their Playdates. They need to do a stream sooner rather than later. Yeah, I've got... I don't know, I've been quietly, like, every couple of weeks I'll turn it on, just buy a game or two. You know, the unfortunate... Mecha Kong in chat, I believe you also have this system. And the funny thing to me is that I pre-ordered Season 2, but by the time Season 2 was coming out, there was a lot going on in my life. Like, I was doing a lot of traveling for, you know, in my professional and personal life, which would... I mean, for a handheld, you think that would be the ideal thing, but I wanted to sort of stream. I wanted to spend like the first half hour of each of my streams each week, you know, playing. I hope there's a Season 3 eventually, because I really missed getting, you know, the community aspect of, you know, playing the games alongside everyone else as they come out. And what really kicked it for me was the fact that Season 2 came out the same time as Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4. So I was, had a lot other, I had other things to do at that time. Now, yeah, so this is, yeah, I really wish, Mecha Kong, I really deeply wish that, like, I don't know about the Vita, maybe there's some way to do this with the Vita, but I wish if the Nintendo 3DS was as easy to stream as the Playdate off of like original hardware, I'd be probably like a DS and 3DS streamer, like for sure. Yeah, I can't even say what my streaming library would look like if were able to play those games like as easily as I'm playing Playdate right now. Okay, that was close. Oh no, that was close. Okay. Oh, doggone. Yeah, now, in terms of the UI for the mirror program, I am actually playing these games. Actually, I'm going to... Yeah, actually, no, I didn't want to do that. I want to exit to the menu. I want to do some, I forgot to start recording with the mirror program itself. So, let me turn that off. Okay. Exit to menu. Yes. So, 5, 4, okay. 3, I don't even, how do we not? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Alright. We are now capturing. Okay. Wait, no, actually no. Okay, end screen capture. Alright. So, okay, now, alright. Hey, I forgot to record with the program because I have a cool way of potentially presenting these games in a sort of, in that doggone portrait format that all the kids want to see these days. But yeah, you'll probably notice, Mecha Kong, if you've used Mirror before, that I have enlarged the crank and the buttons and D-pad on the interface in terms of what you actually see in my stream layout compared to how the system's laid out. And ironically, it's not, the buttons aren't to scale with this actual system at all, but it gives you a strong, it's more akin to the layout of the actual system than how it's laid out in the UI of the Mirror program. Mirror being the official Playdate program I'm using to capture this footage. Ah, okay. Alright. Not doing too great, but okay. Yeah, so I ended up, I really did want to stream, you know, do a sort of a book club type thing where every like 15-20 minutes at the start of a stream as the warm-up, I, you know, cover the newest game to come out through the season 2. So hopefully there's a season 3 someday and I'm in a position to actually stream it, you know, and cover it on Twitch as it's going on. But yeah, it is hilarious seeing how bitter and angry, doggone, how bitter and angry people get over this system. You know, saying like no, to me, like I knew exactly what I was getting. Like people calling it a scam is the craziest part. Like no, a scam is some like a Coleco Chameleon nonsense. A scam is some like Intellivision Amico nonsense. Like no, they said what they were going to do and they did it. They haven't like tricked or cheated anyone. Just because it isn't appealing to your taste doesn't mean that it's a scam. It's a scam to those who actually wanted this. And to me, this system is pretty much the embodiment of that meme. I want to pay more money for smaller games with worse graphics, and I'm not kidding. Like, yeah, the fact that I chose... Yeah, I have an interesting... Well, I don't know if it seems like just logical to me. If I don't want something, it's too expensive. If I want something, then the price is right. And if there's something I otherwise would have wanted, but it's more expensive than I'm willing to pay, then I don't want the thing anymore. It's not like, oh, I'd want that if it was cheaper. The actual appeal of it just dies to me. So the idea, like Nintendo Switch 2, like there are things that there's like, you know, things I've purchased that are more expensive than the Switch 2. That I'm like, wow, I could have got a Switch 2 for that, but I don't want a Switch 2, therefore I didn't want to pay any amount of money for it. If the Switch 2 was $100, I don't think I'd get it right now because I don't want the Switch 2 right now at any price. Now, if I randomly got it for free, then sure, but yeah, I'm not doing too hot right now. I'm being a little too philosophical. But yeah, I can imagine. Now, these are single-player games. The only multiplayer games are, you know, sort of past the system around multiplayer. You don't have, like, multiplayer wireless or anything like that. And I know, and not in terms of the sound, but in terms of just the really crisp black and white graphics, this feels to me, there's a very obscure game platform called the Cyberco from the early 2000s. And basically, it's a short-range precursor to what we would think of as a smartphone now, except for it worked on a strictly short-range basis years before what we would now call a smartphone even existed. Because when I talk Cyberco, I'm talking like 2000, 2001 time frame, where you have this, just having, you know, local short-range wireless chat and throughout multiple chat rooms, being able to make your own screen names. It's definitely it was definitely ahead of its time in some ways. The games on Cyberco had this strange sort of dichotomy to them, where none of the games were as ambitious or fluid as anything like Super Mario Land 2, or even the first Super Mario Land, or Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Like, a lot of the games looked very primitive and low tech, but the presentation was very high resolution compared to black and white Game Boy games for the most part. But then you had a handful of Cyberco games where they were, like, legitimately pushing actual three-dimensional polygons, or very convincingly simulating pushing polygons in certain racing games. There's even a first-person shooter called Lost in Labyrinth, which is basically a Doom clone. There was nothing, you just wandered around in a maze. and eventually you'd see a monster, you'd shoot at it. There wasn't really even much of an aiming aspect to the game or a marksmanship aspect to it. It was really just a first-person maze game where you had a gun, and it's like, wow, and but looking at screenshots of that, oh, doggone. All right. Yeah, I'll play for a couple more minutes, and ooh, I felt like I was about to get a. Let me just grab a little water. Oh no, I accidentally... Nope. I accidentally jostled the cable. Doggone. And I need to get... Once the cable disconnects, I have to get in the habit of immediately pausing the game. And you know, versus Pinball, which may still be one of the games I have the most playtime in after all these years. Yeah, versus Pinball got me so used to not pausing games, especially when I'm playing like retro or vintage or retro games. Like arguably this is, I mean I'm streaming this in the retro category because there's no like gameplay general category. It's like really tricky playing a variety stream where you don't, okay, is it worth it to go into the categories for each game? A few of these games do have categories for them. Those categories are devoid of content as far as I'm aware. At the moment I'm speaking this, whether through VODs or definitely in terms of live, there's absolutely no coverage of this system in enduring form on Twitch. As far as I'm aware, this is the only content from this system that you will be able to find. Okay, so how much more? Yeah, how many points can I earn in the next like 25-ish seconds? Because I do have a timer before I move on to the next game. Alright. Bam! Okay. Yeah. Oh, doggone. Okay. Alright, so... And that's game for now. Okay. Alright, let's go back to the home screen. Alright. So these... I don't know why I can't, yeah, I don't know why... Okay, there's our option for all games, okay? So, down here are some of my games that I've purchased. And there are also little apps and sort of productivity things as well. When you buy a new game, it's wrapped in a little bow and you manually get to unwrap it. And so these are my Season 1 games. And down here are my games I purchased on my own. I want to show something, a couple of other game. Well, one app that I've gotten a good amount of use out of is this ebook reader thing. Okay. So, Zimmerman Telegram. Hey, how about Game Gear? Yeah, so if you've been watching my YouTube or my Twitch, or my YouTube or my TikTok, and no one's watching I'm never going to complain about my single-digit view counts on YouTube again, because on TikTok, I'm just flat out getting 0 views. But, yeah, so you have an ebook reader. You could boot this into this system as a disk, and very easily just load games on here with the ebook reader, which is an app you have to pay for. So I use this, and I manually crank in order to do so. And to make a scrolling sort of visualized read-along text to go with me delivering the copy for my poems on YouTube. So, we'll go through this one real quick. I didn't plan this. This is spontaneous, but Game Gear keeps you busy till the train's here. Full-color screen, 8-bit graphics so vibrant they make your eyes tear. No one cared that it's just a smaller Master System. It had top-tier games, so he put it into commission. Stereo sound to listen, but only if you've got headphones. Can't squeeze 2 speakers on something that predates iPhones. Playing on the ride home, Dad's stuck in late-night Brooklyn Bridge traffic, speed's a no-go. But I'm behind the wheel with Ayrton Senna racing in Monaco. The glow of the screen makes the backseat a party scene. The batteries running out now would be a bad dream. They're drained faster than Sonic dying in Sonic Spinball. Mom's got extra Duracell. She has it covered, so trust her. Vanishing colored gems in columns like fruit gushers. Fantasy Zone, a shooter with Lisa Frank syndrome. Space combat so cute you don't want to quit. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. Where do I start with this? I admired Eggman's robot transformation gimmick, but roboticizing my animal friends is beyond my limit. Doc mocks me with Jim Cummings' Robotnik cartoon voice because my headcanon for this game is multiple choice. Sally, Antoine, Bunny, and Rotor are my backup crew. Gonna beat Robotnik and all his badniks too, and solve mechanical puzzles too tough for Nancy Drew. The Doctor's sinister. His boss stages make my head spin, but in the name of great justice, I gotta fight him. Powered by 6 AA's of bald lightning. Loved my Game Gear. For playing in the dark, nothing came near, but its nemesis, the Game Boy, was one for Sega to fear. Nintendo's black and white screen made Sega get cocky, let their guard down, but Game Boy came swinging like Rocky. Smaller price tag, which the parents love, needing less batteries fit budgets like a glove. Barely small enough to fit into a 90s kid's pocket. Looks like a brick today, but back then, it was some hot kit. You know Mr. Yokoi's team was proud of it. And the batteries lasted a lot longer too. You could play all day hiding it under your desk at school. And Sega boned their own ads by dissing Game Boy fans instead of luring handheld gamers with an olive branch. Wow, what a system. How could I not miss it? Nostalgia soaring high like Space Harrier missiles. I showcase it on Twitch to help spread the word. Sometimes it's new to even long-time Sega nerds. I'd talk forever on Game Gear. You know I like this. But my batteries are low, so it's time to split. Yeah, so impromptu poetry delivery. Yeah, I didn't plan to do any poetry reading as part of my... Yeah, no, and Megakong in chat is saying, interesting, they were actually trying to find a tiny e-reader. Yeah, it's, I think it can take EPUB, PD... I don't think it can take PDF. I think it can take EPUB and plain text files. So let's go back to our season 1 games. We're gonna play the last of them. The last of this. Oh, doggone! Gotta be very careful. And it's So Hypermeter we played. The very last of these games, 360 by Panic themselves. I personally think this should have been one of the first games. I feel like this should have been one of the first games that they revealed, but okay. So we'll play this for 15 minutes and move on to the next. Okay, so this game is played using only the crank. Lost in the depths of space, the crew of Starship B-360 seeks a safe route back home. Asteroid fields ahead. We'll have to take them out using our energy sphere. Okay, I forgot there was lore to this game. But yeah, it's always fascinating the different ways that all the many ways, all the different forms of contextualization for, and Mechakong, have you heard the Game Gear poem before? I know Azurest has. I know Kalakaboy has. And by the way, if anyone needs me to adjust the volume of the game itself, let me know. Yeah, once again, all these games, I haven't played a single game. Even the most unimpressive games I've played have been, I would certainly rate it high in terms of music. And my favorite negative response I got to that poem, someone said on Tumblr that they were going to kill themselves before they allowed anyone else to read that poem. So rest in peace, because a lot of people have read that poem since then. Yeah, and that's true. Like, I've actually had people Now, I guess on these early stages, I haven't played this far into this, but I'm guessing as we get later on, these sort of bowling bumper type things are going to stop appearing. Yeah, oh my... Yeah, so after all that alleyway, all those hours of alleyway, we're playing a new version of the breakout Arkanoid type thing. And yeah, the stars do accelerate as you spin the crank. Alright. Oh, doggone. Okay. I forgot the A button's a pause button for this. Okay. We're using our practice bumpers up a little too quickly. Yeah, if you can get consecutive hits, you start getting combos. You start chaining C times 2. Oh, no, we lost it. And yeah, we got it. Okay. No. And down here. Gotta keep... Uh-oh. Is that... Oh. Okay, I guess if you collect that, you have the chance to relaunch the ball. Which, Oh! Okay. Ah. And, Oh, doggone. We're using up all our bumpers too fast. Okay. And I notice all these stages... Ah, doggone. Yeah. All these stages have unique names. Gouging 1, Screamium. Planet 5, the definition of gravity. Alright, we'll give this another shot. We got another 10 minutes with this one. Alright. Oh... Doggone already? Okay. Yeah. Planet 5, the definition of gravity. Okay, we don't have to start from the beginning. That's nice of them. Yeah. Oh, there we go. And now, Planet 6, centrifugal force. 3. Yeah, those outer blocks are just there to Yeah, so that first game wasn't made by Panic. This one is actually developed by Panic themselves. I've got it. Oh, okay. Okay, doggone. Alright. You gotta get... There we go. Alright, so yeah, when you collect that, you have the chance to catch the ball and relaunch it as I please. Okay. Now we made it out of the little cup that contains all of the targets we want to be capturing. Okay. There. Yeah. Okay, that took a minute. Hey, new territory. Chapter 7. No, Planet 7. Stone Fruit. Alright. Okay, there we go. There. And if we could get that... This is a very, very... Aha, that was so satisfying, going from left to right to left to right, very gradually angling the ball in. So, Planet 8, the Pearl. I was hoping to get some nice ricochet action from within the target. Now, I wonder if we're going to... I wonder if Galaxy 2 onward will still have these protective single-hit bumpers on the edges. No, I also hope there's no nonsense where the bumpers exist, but if you're... Like, there, a lot of breakout type games do a thing where after the first couple of levels, if the ball hits the back of the playfield, the paddle is reduced in size by 50%. That's so stinky to me, because it's like, that's a valid part of the playfield. Why penalize the player for something that's absolutely inevitable? Okay. Now, okay, we used one of our bumpers already. Now, doggone. Alright. Oh, I never thought of... I always end up... I just realized I always rotate to the... Planet 9 optional accessories. I guess that's referring to all those coins. Now, yeah, all those hours of idle breakout are paying off at this point. I mean, this is an absolute sensory extravaganza compared to... not idle breakout, I mean alleyway for Game Boy. Yeah, idle breakout is what... Oh, and by the way, just putting this out there, if anyone is interested in having a downloadable VOD of last week's Christmas stream, that is, I deleted the VOD off of Twitch, and it's never going to be uploaded to YouTube. So if anyone is interested in a copy of that VOD for them to keep and treasure forever, just whisper to me or DM me or whatever they call it these days here on Twitch, and I will provide you a link to a place where you can download it, and I'm going to delete it later from that download source. So if you do want a permanent copy of that VOD, go ahead and whisper me, and after the stream, I'll make sure you get a link to it. Azure Rest, is your computer... Oh, more lore. So, does your computer have the space to save that? But we'll figure something out later. But, the vast expanse ahead fills with more space debris. Galaxy 2, Planet 1. Galaxy 2, Lucifer. Grandma's Candy Jar. Okay. Yeah, is it full of charms? Okay. Oh, come on. That should have... That was not... That was Tookus I believe and obviously when it comes down to the pixel... This isn't quite like Game Boy where I could blame it on wonky hitboxes. The hitboxes here seem incredibly precise. So by a matter of pixels, I guess it hit the bumper instead of the paddle. And oh, this feels so cool. Oh, doggone. And there we go. Nice. Now, you gotta aim. Oh, okay. And we lost. Oh, and we are already losing barriers. Okay. Now. And another game like this I never got to play on stream. It's a game I discovered through the 3DS Virtual Console, is Kirby's Block Ball for Game Boy. That's a game I need to go get the cartridge for. Because this is, Kirby's Block Ball is pretty much, Alleyway Actual Interesting Content Edition. Or you could say that Alleyway is the sensory deprivation version of, the sensory deprivation version of Kirby's Block Ball. No. Yeah. Whew. Doggone. Okay. I feel like... I feel like... I should have counted. Okay. Let's see how far I can get. Hey, we made it to the second world. Now, yeah, we actually have the second world on our map of selectable. And up. And down here, bounce. And we collected those. Oh, wait. Relied on the barrier. I let it slip through the slip on that diagonal. And it's very easy to overreact with these controls. It takes the slightest motion to make the crank spin properly. And as we'll see, not all the games use the crank or require use of the crank. It just so happens that the first two games we played both involved using the crank. Because if you visually look at the crank graphic on my interface, you see what a gentle touch it takes. Yeah. Consider the animation of the crank on screen to be one-to-one with what I'm actually doing, but keep in mind that the crank that I'm turning is very tiny. It would make like a pencil sharpener crank. It's like the size of... It's like smaller than a fidget spinner, the crank I'm using. Alright. And that's that for 360 for now. So we'll... Yeah. So let's go to a game that was not very impressive, that I was kind of disappointed with. Well, this is one of the games I purchased. Oh. Okay. So, the Royal Game of the Goose, okay? So this is based on one of the most ancient board games around. It's presented well. Royal and most pleasant game of a goose, a most exciting game of racing. So it's kind of... The rules to be observed in this game are as followeth. So this is basically one of the first, like, there are those ancient board games like Mancala and Backgammon that have just been, that sort of descend from time immemorial. This is one of the first, like, deliberately created, and, like, this is one of the earliest board games that was sold as a commercial product. He that flows a goose must double his chance forward from his last place. He that throws a 6 must pay a stake for his passage over a bridge to the number 12. And so you have all these rules. But here's the thing. Wait, select players 1. Yeah, you have to... Wait. Okay. Yeah, so you need to have 2 players. So you have this really nice representation of the board game, of how the old game board looked here. Represented using, the stippling sort of graphics that, to produce a pretty good representation of this old board game. However, I downloaded this game for some crazy reason. I thought that a board game for a game system would actually have a one-player mode, and it did not. Yeah, this is only playable by passing the system back and forth between two people, and yeah, and there's no like wireless multiplayer between Playdate systems either. So the only way so I purchased this game under the reasonable expectation that I was actually going to be able to play this by myself, and come to find out that it is 2 players only, and so it's effectively useless to me. So this is probably by far my most the Playdate game of at least of the ones I've actually purchased myself that I'm the most unhappy with. And it's a shame, Mecha Kong, so it's a shame because it actually is very well presented. But the idea that they were marketing and sort of mass producing a board game long enough ago that it would have this kind of, Middle English writing in it, it's kind of absurd. But we're going to, let's play one Whitewater Wipeout. I think when you get the game, when you first start, when you get your Playdate, this, and this are the 3 games that are unlocked. This game in particular seems to be a game that they place a lot of emphasis on. But we'll play Whitewater Wipeout for a few minutes by another third-party developer. All right. More than some others, this one particularly reminds me of something that, this is by coincidence. I'm not trying to go for these in particular, but by sheer coincidence, this is another one of those games that plays entirely with the crank. So we're surfing. I'm using the crank to balance. This is one of the ones that Mecha Kong in chat's probably familiar with, since all Playdate owners will have this game. And it's one of the first games you're likely to play on the system. And you have to position the crank so you cut back into the water. And the more you spin, you get bird up. Oh, doggone. And you do have a wave that's coming after you from the right. And yeah, this feels very much like the sort of game that would have been on Cyberco. Cyberco was very it tried very hard to tap into that late 90s, early 2000s cool kid aesthetic, such as it were, which was ironic because if you're walking, the idea of taking a handheld computer everywhere you go and using it for all kinds of different things was a very alien idea back then that made you a major nerd actually at the time. Ah, doggone. Fudge. Yeah, they have all kinds of weird ways to express your failures. But so I don't know if rocking up and down. I know soaring up on this this tube of water kind of, I think, like cranking up and down builds this sort of momentum maybe. And yeah, the more you spin, you have to do those, you have to spin you have to spin the crank when you're in the air, and then you have to aim the crank while he's still in the air, such as that the character is pointing down. Alright. You need crank to get started. Yeah, I think by going up and down, you build up speed. Yeah, this, this isn't the first time. None of these games, I'll eventually be getting into a lot of games that I will be playing for the first time. But this is not one of them. This is one of the first games I played. And it took 3 or 4 game overs before I could play even half as or a quarter as good as what you're seeing here. It's a very sensitive game. It's a very trial and error. Yeah, I don't know if eventually... Yeah, I guess, you know what? I guess I'm not building enough speed early on to stay ahead of the wave. I think that's what's happening here. The 3D effect on the surfboard is, you know, the sort of sense of depth is very strong. Now, I have to resist this urge to press into the crank and to the left because I want him to move, you know, left as he goes. But the crank, it feels reasonably sturdy. It does not feel creaky. It doesn't feel like it's going to break off, but I feel like it does need to be respected. I feel like if I was rough with this, I could very easily break it. Now, the cool thing is that the crank, I don't get to play it that often, and frankly, in most situations where I have time to play a game on my phone or on my Playdate. Okay, that was a good run. I would usually sooner, you know, get out my word. Oh, that sucked. Speed up by going down. Oh, that's how you get it. Okay. Press B for global ranking. So this is a Wi-Fi device. All the games are digital. That's how you get the games through Wi-Fi. So it's actually connecting to the internet right now, and we're going to get our global ranking. It's probably not... I know it's not very good. I don't think there's a pinball game on this system. Okay. Look at... Oh, wow. Yeah, this is, yeah, I'm not very far from, yeah, if there was a pinball game with a global leaderboard, believe me, I would be grinding that on stream. Absolutely, I would be. Alright, so... No! Ah! Ah, shucks. Okay. Crank for fun. Okay, now you're being a little cheeky there, game. All right. I swear there's this guy who works. I didn't know who you were. And there we go. And so it's this. Yeah, we have to. So now we're getting good speed, but we need to get some good rotation. Yeah! Oh, doggone! We're doing good for a second. Crank to burn. Okay. Oh, that one I just came down bad. That did not work good. Hold... Oh. Hold up before jumping. That... I'm sorry, that shouldn't be a hint. That should just be... I mean, you just press A and start playing. It doesn't... That... Okay. That sucked, but we're getting the... Okay. Oh, okay. I saw something new happen. We're gonna probably take a couple of game overs trying to figure out this new, like, hold up when jumping thing. This game, yeah, this game seems to want you to learn through trial and error. So I can, 360... Yeah, it seems like a combo thing. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the timing they the timing they want. I went down too far on that one. Okay. Oh, okay, that one was just... Yeah, hit touch the birds. We only managed to do that once so far. Okay. Crank that thing. Okay. There we go. Can you believe we've been playing for an hour already? Okay. And so yeah, I don't know if that's enhancing my speed or okay. Oh, we actually got negative yeah, we're gonna need to yeah, we're going good for a minute. Okay. Alright, so if we go down here. So it's up, down. Yeah, I'm gonna go out of my way to not I'm gonna see if I can find a game that doesn't use the crank so much next time. Because it's not something where like the game's like, yeah, the crank is like the major unique feature of the controls, and many games are built around it. The first two games I definitely chose specifically because they use the crank a lot, like as their main control method. This one I chose because it's one of the first games you get on the system, and has a bit of and also one of the reasons I wanted to show this one is early on, because the first two games were fairly abstract, whereas this game's actually showing like a discernible character. Like a scenario that wasn't just sort of abstract. You know, it's funny, both of those first two games are both about floating in space and controlling a sort of a object rather than a character. So if we, there we go. And if we go up. Okay, we just barely salvaged that one. And yeah, I don't know how I don't mean to get the negative speed like that. And gosh, no, crash. Alright, we'll play this another 5 minutes or so. I mean, nearly... How did I get 1,500, you know? I always feel like I was doing better when I wasn't trying to do that press A thing. I feel like that's been messing me up more so than helping me. I wish there was an actual instruction manual. I guess the idea is they wanted you to learn through trial and error. Which has been satisfying to a certain extent, but when what and so and launch and if we could get 15, let's see how many points. Okay, so that was 100 points right there. You know, I feel like they could have very easily rethemed this game to be about a dolphin. What? What? Who farted? Why did it say that? That just... Next time... That was so distracting. Seeing that screen. Okay, that was so distracting and cost me an extra life. And oh. Nice. Okay, double 360. Oh. Turn that frown upside down. Okay. Oh, I didn't there we go. Hey, second place, not bad. Okay. Crank that thing. Alright, let's do this. Okay. And 1. Hey, 2 points. Nice. Okay. What is going on with my model right now? Well, it's freaking out a bit. Okay. Alright. So... yeah, it wasn't... okay, I think, I think I was leaning forward in the chair and my, didn't know what to do with my arms for a second. Okay. Alright, so tipped up and up. There we go. Double 360. Nice. Okay. I really feel like I end up do a Bordeaux roll. Okay. Okay, I think that was a Star Fox 64 reference. And okay. Double 360 again, and triple, and I landed it, and I survived. I landed it and didn't immediately faceplant. Okay, will I? Okay, did not get. All right, just in time to Alright, let's check out a different game here. Well, we'll do what we did, but hold on. So, scroll down here. So, this next game, I don't know why. My first time I ever saw people playing cribbage was on the Bluebell Railway, and while everyone was disembarked from a certain station where they had a jazz performance, I was just walking through the train, and people had a cribbage board sitting down. Andy presents cribbage. New game tutorial. Yeah, this is definitely the kind of thing I probably should play on my own time. But I just wanted to show that off real quick. This is the first time. It's the first time I even opened it up, actually. Yeah, it actually has... well, actually, no. What happened was I downloaded this and a Royal Game of the Goose at the same time. And because Royal Game of the Goose did not have a 2-player mode, I just assumed... I just got so worried that this one didn't as well that I kind of just avoided... Okay. So let's play another. Let's play a couple of... let's play Pick Pack Pup. I think this is a puzzle game that does not... oh, you have to use the I didn't... okay. 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 So chapter 1. This is a puzzle game that also another one of those games that reminds me a lot of the Cyberco. So, chapter 1. No music here. Okay. Cute art style. Very clearly going for a kind of a newsprinty kind of art style for these cartoon cutscenes. How is a dog supposed to find a job in this town? Hey, you there. Turn. We deliver. Become a packer today. Now hiring. Fetch. We deliver. Deliver. Dock the crank or press A to get... I wish you did not need to use... I wish you didn't need to use the crank in order for that. Move your hand with the directional buttons and grab the items by using the A button. Can you bring my ball here? Oh, it's funny. It actually has gravity to it. Woof, thanks. Oh, okay. Now press A. Okay, I think we ship it. Good, now let's ship a... Okay, we actually do have music here. That's good. Good, let's ship a few more boxes. Good, let's ship... Okay. So the boxes don't clear themselves automatically. The goal of the game is to make as many matches and ship as many boxes as you can. Boxes are shipped together for maximum productivity. Bigger batch means bigger points. Okay. Alright, so combo times 4. Let's drop some more items and have a go at it matching and shipping. Okay. So if we... And if we could get, there we go. We could get these 3. We've boxed ourselves out of matching these 3. Alright, we made all the matches we can. Combo of 6. Okay. Okay, we keep going. Alright. And this is... I'd say this is... Games like this are almost more of an actual puzzle game than Tetris is to an extent. Because Tetris, like, yeah, you're fitting the pieces together, but the actual thought that goes into, like... Alright. Alright. Quit tutorial. Pause. Oh, okay. Instead of PAUSE, it's PAWS. Okay, I get it. I was confused for a second. I was like, huh? All right. What's the music? Ah. Sound effects, reset progress. Okay. So we have a... I think I'm gonna... Okay. Turn the music up just a tad. Okay. Okay, so let's quit the tutorial. Now, I wish you didn't have to keep using the crank. Just this is the first example I've seen where I really feel like the crank use was forced in. Like there's oh wait, okay, the first time it didn't give me the option to use the D-pad. Now it's actually letting me use the D-pad. Here goes. Whoosh. Hi there. Welcome to Fetch. So glad to have you on the team. You're going to love it here. Ready to deliver? Whoa. Sure, let's get to work. Right this way. Okay. Press A to continue. Oh, there's an actual, like, plot to this. Okay. Infinite. Oh, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different modes. Impressive. No, no, no. Wait. Am I... I could... How existential. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so okay, I didn't think it would be so, Okay. 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 Let me match that. Okay, we gotta go through this again. Alright. So many... Okay, so chapter 2 is just... Okay, I accidentally... I have to... Okay. Alright. Right this way, press A to continue. Story level... Okay! I thought I accidentally skipped a chapter... Just going through that comic was considered chapter 2. Okay. And it... I'm so annoyed by the fact that okay, sometimes it lets me use there's no reason to force me to use the crank. Okay, here's the warehouse, here are the boxes, and here are the products. Press rumble. Oh, and Mekong saying, so funnily enough, to the Gundam photo I sent them, this is off of Twitch. The friend gave you a silver A158W yesterday since he knows you like Casio. Oh, that's awesome. And I know, like, the thing about that comic is that if you know anything about Casios, or if you know anything about Gundam, like, you only have to understand Casio or Gundam to get that comic. And yes, I was the originator of that. And actually a Casio Gundam fan did replace that. There is a Gundam watch, a Gundam G-Shock themed around the main character of the first series. It's specifically themed around one of the later movies that they were featured in. But here are the products. Press rumble. Get to sorting. Or you're fired. Yeah, a little too real there. Dear worker, welcome to Fetch. As one of the world's leading fulfillment centers, we are constantly delivering packages to our loyal customers. We are pleased to be offering you this employment opportunity and look forward to many productive days working together. Management will keep a close eye on your progress. Are you ready to pick up and pack, pup? And look forward to many productive days work. Okay. Today's task is to pack and ship $500 worth of goods. Pack a total of 10 boxes to receive a $300 bonus. Yeah, so there's a breakout clone for the Cyberco called Men's Room 2. As far as I know, there was never a Men's Room 1, but it was a breakout clone specifically themed around toilets and stuff you'd find in a men's room. So there were like toilet paper rolls and stuff you were breaking. Now Mekong saying it's a very low cost testing point to see if they like a metal band, as they've had their eyes on a much more expensive metal watch from them. The only watch I've had with a metal band I got as a Christmas gift like 25 years ago, and I got it adjusted at a pawn shop for me, but I never actually wore it out. In fact, I want to make sure, I hope the battery hasn't corroded inside it, because I don't think I've ever changed the battery in there. It was a watch before I had a need for watches. I was still in high school, and everywhere I go would have a clock and a loud, annoying bell to let you know when it was time to get moving. And I did not actually start wearing watches until... Like, I had watches digital watches in the 90s I got somehow or another, I guess as gifts, maybe? Alright, so level complete. Your supervisor told me you did a good job with those boxes yesterday. Who's a good boy? Is it okay for dogs to say that to each other? I don't know. Today, let's focus on upping that productivity and add more product inside packages. Try to match 4 items together in one box. Show me how much you want this job. So we're gonna go for a larger... Oh, doggone! That's not what I wanted to have happen. So, okay. So... It's, so we could do these sunglasses here. And, Alright, no, actually, no. That's not what I intended to happen, but sure. And we'll ship those. We got a couple of instant combos there, but... So if we could do these shirts... And... Oh. Now we blocked off... We blocked off one combo I saw, but if we bring this here... Bring this over here. Yeah, I never had... On all my Casios, I've never used a metal band before. I never had a metal band one. Yeah, I know there's some of those ones that, like... Some of those watches that you still see around just in shops that are clearly like unchanged since at least the early 80s that have metal bands, and I'd probably gravitate towards those first. Cockaboy's saying, did I receive any Christmas gifts? My dear mother got me she mailed me a Nintendo eShop card. So a future game you may be seeing on our stream someday, maybe retro or whatever, but will be paid for by that. Did you know that we lose 80% of our employees during the first 2 days of work? HR can't understand why, but you look like a sharp pup. I'm sure we can rely on you to work hard for Fetch. Did you already try to ship multiple boxes at once? Try to ship as many packages per shipment as possible, and the value of the shipment will multiply. Who doesn't like multiplying value? Certainly not me. Today's challenge, ship 5 boxes at once. You'll get a nice $600 bonus for that, you know. Okay. Hey, we got some game pads here too. Oh, doggone! I did not mean to. Okay, so 1. So 1, 2, 5. We could do that so that these are touching. Yeah, I find it so ironic because I love Panel de Pon. I love Tetris for what it is. I love Panel de Pon way more, you know, the Puzzle League series. But I never before. Yeah, this feels more like a legitimate puzzle than a lot of those falling block or match 3 typical type games. Oh, doggone. Okay, yeah, literally doggone here. Yeah, but it's a good way to figure it out, whether or not you'll like. Oh my goodness, this is so like delicate and persnickety. This USB-C cable, and it doesn't feel like it's damaging this. And I'm sure it's not the adapter. It's just the. Yeah. So the way I'm holding the system sort of horizontal. Like I'm holding the system perpendicular to the ground, and for a sense of scale of this system is like a few millimeters thicker than a Game Boy cartridge, and 2 standard sized credit cards overlapping can completely like obscure the face of the system. This would make even like this system is arguably it probably has about the same mass as a Game Boy Micro. Yeah, it has probably about the same mass as a Game Boy Micro. But compared to like a Game Boy Pocket or a Game Boy Advance SP is like comparing like a Zeppelin to like a hot air balloon. Like or to like it's like comparing a golf ball to a soccer ball. This thing feels absolutely minuscule in your hands. And my hands haven't cramped up, and I'd say that due to the nature of these games in the system, this certainly is the longest that I've sat here holding the system and playing it so far. Alright, so we've I'd say out of all the games I've played, even though I've enjoyed all these games so far, good boy. This is take a sip from my invisible water bottle. Alright. Yeah, this is definitely, that was the furthest that I've let's play. Okay, let's do something wild. Let's play something brand new. Let's play. Okay, so we got all these Season 2 games. I've only opened up a couple of them. Let's spend, for the heck of it, let's spend 5 minutes with Mini Monsters. And you could probably guess what this game is getting at here. Oh. He's dead. Okay. How do you restart? Delete all data. Yes. Yeah, so this is a virtual pet game. How do I... How do I... How do I reset? Okay. Mini Monsters has been meant to mimic the virtual pet games of old and designed to consume very little battery and to be left open just like a dedicated virtual pet would be. This is one of the ones I bought separately. This was on sale for $2. I think normally it's like $4. And I can't even... Like, I've had very... I couldn't get this to run. I actually had to delete it and reinstall it to get it to work. And now... Like... I'm not even sure... Okay, so up does nothing. Down, left, right. I can have the heart option. I had a thing to, like, reset data. Yeah, no, I deleted it. No, I deleted, no, when this game wouldn't work, it would reset, it would crash the actual console. And it's the only game I've had that problem. Oh, okay, so... Alright. I don't even... Like, this is so cryptic. Either something isn't working, or there's no reason for it to be this cryptic. I can't even tell if it's working properly or not. So, gears. Okay. Alright, so battery on. Okay, so clock on. Oh, great. Now I just... Okay. Battery on, BGS, borders, restart, press A. Delete all data. Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. There. Now we go. Now we're good. Just gotta wait for it to hatch now. Now my borders are just ugly. Borders. Okay, black. Bedtime. Battery on. Clock on. Wait, you can turn the clock. Okay, that's a lot better. Okay, so borders. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to. Hey, non-copyright infringing. P-Man. Who knows what P stands for? But P-Man. You have snails. Yeah, I'd rather just have it be black. Okay. Guess, mimic, nom nom. Use the oh. Okay, we're catching the food. Now this is designed. This system, like there's a lock screen. But when it goes to sleep, it's not like an e-reader screen, like an e-ink screen. Okay. So I guess I have a 50-50 chance of which way it's gonna look. And when I'm streaming, does it all start? Yes. Any USB-C connection should it does charge up the system. You know what gets me is that the Tamagotchis they have in Japan are actually very clearly like a progression of modern Tamagotchi and what it would be like with today's technology. All right. Meanwhile, when I see Tamagotchis for sale here, they're very clearly the same ones from 1996. Okay, so we get the gist of that. Okay. Let's play. I have no clue what's in behind this. Let's see what's in here. Oh, okay. We'll play this for a minute then. Yeah, this is one of the ones I purchased, and you know what this is. You know exactly what this is. There's nothing unique about it. I don't expect. Hopefully it has some funky music and some unique presentation to accommodate the graphics. Press up or down. Oh, come on. Press up or down on the D-pad to shoot. Press B or down on the D-pad to swap balls. Create a group of 3. Now, oh my goodness. It is so... you know what? I'm going to try something. I'm going to take the adapter off. Like, I have a 90-degree adapter so I can hold it more flat. Yeah, it's just as precarious. I guess it's just the nature of... I don't know if it's something about the USB port on this. Of course I get... Okay, so I've got... Alright. Yeah, so the crank honestly doesn't... And... Alright, yeah, the crank... Using the crank does not feel as satisfying as I would have hoped. Alright. Why? Okay. Alright. Is it... Okay. Got 500. Okay, so we could switch there and make the... Yeah, there's a version of this in the DS. I never actually played it, though. Yeah, honestly, using left and right on the D-pad... Yeah, using left and right on the D-pad is more satisfying than using the crank. If this game was slower paced, perhaps the crank would be more... It would feel more fun to use, but... We're gonna... No, we missed. Hey, we cleared the board. Alright, now we have this, like, intestinal diagram-looking stage. Alright, and... Yeah, so this is absolutely nothing that doesn't already exist. You just offer something unique if you want to play with the crank. But I personally didn't like... The crank didn't do much for me. Yeah, I'm just using the D-pad for this. I don't remember the actual version. Like, I know this is kind of like a knockoff of an existing game, but as far as I understand what I believe to be some of the more like old versions of this game, like I don't remember it moving this fast this early on. And it seems like these may just be random photographs that the developers or developer, because these are in the range of... It's possible that some of these games were made only by a single person. Alright. There we go. Yeah, I was actually purely... so I purchased some of these games months ago, and I never, like, unwrapped them, as they'd put it, so... There we go. And... It's actually not even the combo I was trying to make. And... Clear these 3. And... You know, sometimes they... sometimes I'm confused because sometimes the balls at the head of the chain like sort of remain still because nothing's pushing them, and then other times they just kind of like start rolling backwards. Yeah, the music isn't annoying or bothersome, but this is by far the least impressive music on any of these games. This is very, like... Yeah, if all the games had music like this, I think it would leave a very bad impression. But fortunately for the Playdate, most of the games have... Even if it's not the kind of music I'd casually listen to, it's, Oh, I lost. Alright, so... Oh, got that right there. Bam, mix those three. And... Yeah, got that. Match. Max those 4, 2, 2. And match. And up these 3, these 2. Okay, now we're getting to a point where there's an actual reasonable oh no, I missed. Okay. Oh no, I missed. Okay. We lost. Doggone. Ah! Okay. Let me grab a little water. You know, for the most part, I'd like to give these games like a good 15 minutes each, but we got the idea with this one. I think we can move on now. Alright, how about this? You know what? Do we play... Let's play... 0-0 per... I know what this is. And I've never played it, and amazingly, I've never played any game similar to this. Very interesting console. Wonder what Nintendo thinks of it. They just flat out don't care. Like, this is the kind of thing Nintendo... Like, this is the kind of game that would be great for a WarioWare type game, but it's not going to happen. Yeah, so 0-0 perfect stop. Oh, yeah. I figured you'd notice. Yeah, there's a train game on this. Alright, just gotta adjust my headphones. Alright. So, driver's mode, tutorial, options. Wow, we even have the option to play in Japanese. So, tutorial. Let's learn how to drive trains. I'm guessing I'm gonna need the crank for this. I'm gonna be very disappointed if I don't use the crank for this. Welcome to the world of 0-0 perfect stop. I'm your guide, Ray. Nice to meet you. This is a train driving game, and it's your job to be the driver. Me? This is the first train game I've played on stream since Super Locomotive in like 2023. Wow, it's been a while. It's your responsibility to get your passengers to their destinations comfortably, safely, and on time. How do you do that? You should strive to achieve these goals. 1. Stop at each station at the scheduled time. 2. Stop exactly on the stopping point at each station. Okay. Just, we'll play this for about 17 minutes and then into our midstream break. Stop exactly on the stopping point at each station. 3. Obey all posted speed limits. 4. Hit target objectives posted along the diagram. 5. Minimize your use of the throttle to reduce emissions. Emissions? There's an overhead pantograph. That means this train is fully electric. What emissions are there? I mean, no, there's no point of use emissions. I mean, okay, anyway. Can you tell I drive trains in real life? Okay. It's a challenge of precision. Can you achieve a perfect stop? You will be driving the Fuji Express through Yamanashi. Okay, I actually said it right. Yamanashi Prefecture. You can enjoy sights of Mount Fuji along the way. No. You don't enjoy the sights when you're operating the train. That's something for the passengers. You better be watching the track and your signals and your head and your display on the controls, okay? Let's go over the basics of driving the train and navigating a diagram. Please pay careful attention. Driving a train is serious business, you know. Yeah, unless you want to stop and look at the sights as the driver, whatever. First, I will explain the game screen. Let's start from the top left corner. This is the clock, essential for keeping a schedule. And you know what? This is probably going to be, because it's based on Japanese practices, it's probably going to be a 24-hour clock. And for this purposes, it's going to be fine, but I'm a 12-hour kind of guy. This is the clock, essential for keeping a schedule. At the top, ARV displays the intended time of arrival at the next station. You know what? This is definitely the most in-depth game I've ever played on the system so far, as I've mostly been playing the arcade-type games. At the top, ARV displays the intended arrival time at the next station. Underneath, Now displays the current time. Aim to arrive at the station as closely as possible to the intended time. I want to take a screenshot. There we go. Below the clock is the look-ahead display. You can see upcoming events 500 meters ahead. These include stations, speed limits, and targets. To the right of the look-ahead is the target indicator. This shows the distance to the next station or the distance to the upcoming target point if one is nearby. Keep an eye on the target indicator while you're stopping at a station. Along the bottom of the screen is the speedometer. This tells you how fast the train is going, of course. Remember to watch your speed closely. The speed limit is right next to the speedometer. You must never exceed the speed limit. If your speed goes over even by 1 kmph, you will be penalized. Your passengers depend on you for their safety after all, very much so. Along the right side is the gear indicator. It shows the train's current driving gear. Set. You know what? I'm not even kidding. I did not realize I did this. At some point, I set the crank, like, actually in the position they're saying for neutral, just because that seemed like the natural position for the control handle to be in, for neutral. Turn backwards the throttle to use the throttle. There are 5 levels of throttle. Turn forward to use the brake. There are 8 levels of brake. I swear I'm more interested than I sound. Turn behind the back of the device to activate the emergency brake. Only use the emergency brake in a real emergency. Back at the top of the screen is the the trust gauge. It represents your passenger's trust in you. If you drive well, you gain trust. If you make mistakes, you lose trust. If you run out of trust, that means game over. I want to screenshot that. Finally, we have the door light. The door light is currently turned off. If the door light is off, the doors are open. If the door light is off, the doors are open. Passengers are boarding. Once the doors are closed, the door light will turn on. Make sure to keep the brake engaged until the door light is turned on. Now then, what do you say we get moving? First, let's wait a moment for the doors to close. Okay. I'm getting a little lag. Am I getting... Hold on, I'm gonna try unplugging it and plugging it back in. Okay. Why was I getting lag? Yeah, that was weird. I was getting lag there for a second. I'm getting lag again. Is anyone else hearing that, or is that just me? But anyway. Alright, the doors are closed. Time to leave the station. Turn backwards to use the throttle. You can also press B or down. No. We're using the handle. There are 5 stages of throttle. Yeah, it sounded like crackly to me. That's so weird. I wonder if it... Okay. Go ahead and set the throttle all the way to 5. Let's go. Okay. There's a higher speed limit coming up ahead. After you've passed the next speed limit, increase your speed. You receive a penalty for going over the speed limit. I'll return trust for now. Please apply your brake immediately. Okay. 30, 41, C4, 5, C3, 5, 6, 7. Coming up ahead is a target speed point. Match the speed displayed on the target indicator. What's the target speed? I don't see it. Speed 70. Oh. 65 is our target speed, huh? Okay. Alright, I'm getting this. There's the lower speed limit coming up ahead. Slow down before you cross the next speed limit. Okay. Turn forward to use the brake. You could also use A. Okay. I'm glad that I know due to the nature of this game, get... I'm trying to figure out. Okay. The speed limit's 60 right now. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll be honest, I'm not sure. This is probably not... I've never played a game like this before in any way. I've downloaded a few for 3DS back when the eShop was up. I even downloaded a couple for the Wii U that I'm sure are going to be great using the gamepad, but I've never played one of these train sims before, especially not one of these Japanese type train sims, so I really can't say how good of a game this is. I do know I'm getting a lot of crunchy audio, like lag. I don't know if it's because of this game. Hold on, I'm gonna unplug this for a moment. I'm gonna see how it sounds coming out of the system itself. Wait a second. Okay. I'm gonna play... Yeah, it sounds fine coming out of the system itself. Yeah, okay, so... Yeah, something about this game is making the official capture software, like, lag. Something about the this game is making the audio lag. At certain points along the diagram, you need to sound the train's horn. Press left on the D-pad when the prompt appears on screen. Coming up ahead is a target time point. Hold on. Can I see what this game is called? Hold on. I forgot. It's called like something like Perfect Stop, something like that. I forgot what it's called. The target indicator. Yeah, we'll in about 5 minutes we'll stop for my midstream break and we'll check to see. Yeah, I will check to see what time this is. I know, because I know in Japan, on PS2 specifically, I know there was like a series of games that actually had like a train like operator controller. Like instead of a racing wheel and pedals, it was actually a train operator setup for operating Japanese commuter trains. An estimate of how you're tracking against the schedule. Manage your speed to cross the target point on time. Okay, so the speed limit's 60. Okay. And now it's 70. Oh no, the speed limit's gonna be 55 soon, so we wanna start slowing down. Okay. 57. Yeah, there we go. 55. We're good. Alright. Okay. So now we're coming up to a stop in 600 meters. Okay, 0, 0, perfect stop. I knew it was something stop something. Okay. So now I want to put on the brakes. Okay, no, 300. We will soon be arriving at Kotobuki Station. And the thing is, I don't know if this is an actual Japanese developer or if they're just styling this out. But, I mean, there's a Japanese language option. The X indicates the stopping point. Okay. You must stop within 300 centimeters of the station. That's 5 meters. Or 500 centimeters. I was about to say, how is 300 centimeters 5 meters? Okay. Turn the... Man, this game... Yeah, something's about this game. Maybe it's because of the graphics. Yeah, it's making the audio crunch really bad. Try starting with a stronger brake, then gradually easing off. Okay. Oh, you must not reaccelerate while stopping the train. It's unsafe. Okay. Mecha Kong, you bought it? Yeah, hopefully you have, and the thing is, I can't... Yeah, I can't, I never played one of these railroad sims before, so I can't say... how good this is. Okay. And like the graphics, I'm having trouble interpreting the graphics, I guess, a bit, so I wasn't quite sure that I was even in the station. Spending too long over the speed limit, engaging the automatic train control. You received a penalty and the train automatically brakes till the speed is back down under the speed limit. I'll give you some trust back this time, but please obey the speed limit. Okay. 20 seconds late, 15 meters over. Well, there's certainly some room for improvement. You didn't pass this time. Why not try the tutorial once more? I believe in you. Aww. Yeah, I guess I suck at this. Alright. Yeah, 0-0 perfect stop. Yeah, something about this game. And maybe it's because of the graphics, but here the sound's fine. But yeah, it got really bad. Like, it got I don't know. I guess it's something about the way the graphics displayed. It'll definitely take practice, and then I'm trying to like. I guess I'll have to learn how to interpret what appear to be an attempt at photorealistic graphics on this black and white system. Yeah, oh yeah. I know what you meant, Mecha Kong. So I will be back in a few minutes. And, hold on. Yeah, let's go to, and in fact, let me turn on, now that we're not listening to the Playdate info video, let's, there we go. Alright, so where is my timer? Did I quit out of the timer? Why would I do that? Okay, I quit out the timer. I normally don't do that. Okay. Alright, so I'll be back in a few minutes for hopefully another couple of hours of a Playdate. I have no idea why the timer is at 0 when my screen, my watch that I set for the same time says that I still have like 3 minutes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start streaming again now. I'm very sorry. Somehow I let time get away from me. I don't know. Let's. Nope, that's the wrong button. That's the wrong button. Okay. There we go. Hey, everybody, I'm back. Okay. I think for maybe one of the, among the first times in the history of my stream, the content I've produced has directly resulted in revenue for being earned on behalf of the people whose games I'm streaming. So that's one for my bucket list. Okay. Where's my... Okay. Where's... Yeah, I am not ready. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I didn't even get to... The only reason I noticed is I'm like, hey, it's like 3 minutes left. Time to trigger my ad. Oh, wait, my on-screen... Wait, did I even set the time on the screen? I don't know. I don't know what I did. Okay, it says time's up. Timer 40... I have no clue what was going on. Alright, so we'll... Okay. That's not what I want. Okay, that's not... Okay, so now... Where is... Okay, there's Warudo. There's my broadcast software. No, just my bucket list in terms of, one of the people in chat, Azurest, purchased one of the games I was playing, which is something I never had happen before. Someone directly buy a game based on me streaming it. So let's go for another one of these, Dog on. It is... I don't know if it's the Playdate specifically, but it is so delicate. I have to hold... And my USB port isn't damaged or anything on my Playdate. Okay. Alright. Okay. We're just gonna open up some of the games from our my purchase catalog. I have no idea what I'm about to see or what game this is gonna be, so I'll be surprised along with you. The moon is our friend. Aww. You can only guess why I might have been sort of gravitated toward this game, you could say. How to play. After a large-scale asteroid mining expedition gone wrong, the Earth is now under a barrage of meteors and is very scared. Aww. Desperate to help its best friend, the moon wakes from its deep slumber and springs into action to protect the Earth. Use the crank to move the moon and pull incoming meteors away from the Earth. The moon has strong gravity, but it only affects meteors close to it. Try to grab any supplies the Earth sends your way. They may contain extra health or various power-ups. Shield protects the moon or Earth from one hit. Bomb destroys all meteors in its path. Use B. Press B to use. You can hold up to 3. Gravity booster replaces bombs in some game modes. Press and hold B. Okay. Missions take you on a journey to save the Earth from meteors from good. They can be played on 3 difficulty levels, each one marking a different badge: checkmark, star, and heart. Some missions unlock new game modes, and all missions need to be completed to reach the end of the game. In endless mode, try to score as many points as you can until game over. Meteors will spawn more frequently as time goes on. +1 for diverting a meteor off screen, +3 for catching a rocket when you are already at max health bomb shields, +5 for when 2 meteors collide. In juggling mode, meteors stay on screen so they are destroyed by making them collide with each other. Collisions give you +1 health. Use your gravity booster right, press speed to maneuver the meteors in this mode. Made by Paige Rutin, aka Paley. Feedback is welcome. page.rutin@gmail.com. Source code github.com, and so forth. Okay. 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 Normal standard heart. Okay, let's start with them. You are the moon. Okay. Use the crank to move around in your orbit and divert 20 meteors back into space using your gravitational pull. Good luck. Okay, so we're the moon. Okay. Not much. I know only one person made this, but... Oh. Okay. I know only one person made this, but this is a very... Oh, okay. I guess I didn't do this right. I thought because I was protecting Earth... Okay. I have to use the gravity to do this. Okay. 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 I get it now. Okay. Alright. 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 Oh. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Oh, doggone. Okay. Supplies incoming. +1 bomb. Okay. Oh yeah, this is... The first several meteors... This game needs to start a lot slower. This is an interesting idea. Okay. Yeah, I know. I don't know how difficult, and I'm not saying this sarcastically. I don't know how difficult it would be for him to have licensed some music that could be used for commercial purposes, because I know there's a lot of music you could like in the Creative Commons but that might not necessarily be legitimate to use for a commercial project like this. Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay. Yeah, this is the first even that ball launching game was a little more that game had underwhelming music, but at least there was music. Okay. Okay. Whoop, there we go. And now, mind you, the moon waving around like this in relation to Earth would probably destroy the Earth in and of itself just through its gravity alone. It would certainly, whether it actually damages the planet, like the actual structure geologically of the planet, it would certainly cause massive tidal waves and earthquakes. Okay. Yeah, and it was a smart move to put googly eyes on the Earth to make it a character. Okay. Alright, we lost our shield there. Oh. Now, just to catch up with chat for a moment, Clackaboy in chat is saying if the Playdate hired me to be their spokesperson, they think Dorms would be the perfect mascots for the Playdate. You know, with some of the design sensibilities, a lot of stuff, some of the characters in these games, I think Dorms could fit in very well. And you know, I originally designed Doorworms initially specifically to be black and white originally, so that would actually work. And then the purple and black one, Tangle, you know, Lunarian H's Doorworm, was the first colored Doorworm I colored in, and that was not my original intention. But what I would say is that the Playdate, I would say the Playdate. The actual console itself is frequently anthropomorphized in official material. So, I'd say, like, the system itself, I'd say, we have yet to do... This is a good game. This is a good game, but it really did need to start out about about 50% of the speed of what we're dealing with here. This is a good game concept. The controls are good, but it starts off too difficult. And it needs some music, honestly. And I know this is if this was a team of multiple people, the only reason I could excuse that having no music is just because it is literally appears to be one person who just put their email address. Alright. Okay. Ah, there we go. You know, I may actually send this person an email. But you know, human shield, cause a meteor to destroy a rocket. Oh, there are even achievements in this. That's cool. No, I didn't mean to use that bomb. Okay. Supplies incoming. No, doggone. But what I will say is that this game definitely captures the vibe of late night. I mean, the physics are beyond what my old IBM PS2, you know, personal system 2, not like PlayStation 2. My old IBM Value Point, late summer nights, playing those games, which had little simple like beep speaker sound effects, but not actual like MIDI type sound. And Collectible in chat is actually saying these games remind them of Atari games in their simplicity. A lot of them are arcade type games. The most in-depth game we played was probably that train sim, if you got to see that. But oh my goodness, straight. No. Yeah, the visualizations for the gravity are good. Okay. Okay. Yeah, like I like the way the line bends to sort of show. Yeah, I feel like this first mission, the speed needs to be a lot slower to let players get. But what I will say, this is too fast. This is too fast for level 1 for sure. However, this is the most fun I've had doing this poorly at a video game. I can't remember any time where I've had such a performed so poorly at a game, but had as much fun as I've had and wanted to continue playing in the way that I have. Oh, come on. Yeah, even those simple, crunchy explosions would have been an audio extravaganza for my old IBM from the 90s. I do want to. Oh, come! I ended up. No. Okay. There goes my bonus. Okay. Almost. 2 meteors collided. Splat caused 2 meteors to achieve. Yeah, the fact that there are even achievements, like the things that the problems I have with it are definitely not. Yeah, we actually completed a level. Mission 1-2. After a short rest, you see another wave of meteors approaching. Defend yourself on Earth for 60 seconds to complete this mission. In tough situation, remember to use the bombs by pressing B. Okay. And I would say certainly that it is the controls. I'm using the crank to control the moon here, and the crank controls do add tremendously to this game. If I was using a D-pad, it's not. Yeah, the control mechanism is part of what makes this, is what sells this game, is what makes this game worth playing. Doggone. Okay. I gotta last for a minute. Okay, so when I see... I gotta think of their trajectories. Okay, as they enter. Oh, why did I move straight into it? Jeez. Okay. Okay. What? Okay. You need to not move directly into the path of... Okay. Supplies incoming. Oh, I lost the shield that fast. Why does the moon need to collect... Why does the moon need to collect the rocket in order for Earth to have a shield? Okay. Supplies incoming. And coming this way and right that way. And oh, I need to my instinct is so okay. Now let me pause for a second. Clackaboy in chat saying this console reveal was a complete surprise for them. They actually thought I was going to play reveal the next I never heard of the next playground. What is that? What is that? And by the way, that is why I deliberately kept this cryptic, a surprise, a mystery console. It's why there's a reason I kept it cryptic, because I don't think I talked much about this system on stream, if at all. So, oh my goodness, really, okay. There we go, and we're gonna come right through here, and up, and up. Okay. I did not mean for that to... Earth got a shield. That's... Oh, come on. Oh, the Atari VCS. Okay. And Azurest in chat, he thought it was going to be Atari VCS. You know what? I didn't even consider that someone could interpret it that way. Yeah, that is a system that I don't know if games are still coming out for it, but I know its marketplace is still up and running. Yeah, and I'm glad that the visual, like my layout and the software that's used to capture the gameplay is able to give the viewers at home a sense of what I'm doing with the crank, because that's one thing I feared would be lost, just the sensation of how or the sense of what I'm doing with the crank in relation to the gameplay, and how it's... Oh, doggone. Come on. I don't know why, I just end up naturally putting... You know what? This is probably because I was playing so much of that other space game where your paddle was trying to hit the ball. And I think that's causing me to, like, reflexively. And Clackaboy saying it's kind of like the Wii with motion controls. Yeah. Whereas I guess these are a little more concrete to represent in terms of representing what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, because I was playing those breakout type games where you're trying to use the paddle, where you're moving the paddle in a circle and trying to hit the balls. It's causing me to reflexively place the moon in the path of the meteors. Nice. Okay. Okay. Got some health back. If I even lost any. I have to last for 38 more seconds. Oh, I let one hit. Okay. Okay, so... Okay. Oh, come on. 10 more seconds. Oh, come on. I have 1 heart left. Yeah, we did it! Whew! That was, yeah. Definitely intense. Earth is sending a large team of scientists and astronauts to the moon to help resupply and bolster your defenses. Land 20 Oh, that's interesting. 20, we have to... Okay. Alright. Okay. Yeah, I know we're out of time. Okay, we used our shield up right away. We're gonna give this a single shot. If we game over now, then why does I understand why, but it's kind of silly that the moon is affecting the gravitation of meteors more than it's affecting the tiny little rockets. If anything, you'd think it would be sucking the rockets in closer to it. Oh, come on. Okay. And... No. And up. And up. And up. And we go up. Yeah. Oh, come on. 13. Okay. Got it. No, right into one of the rockets. Okay. It's interesting now because we're trying to encourage some things to we're trying to make contact with all these rockets while avoiding contact with 16, 17, oh my goodness, 18, okay, we got a shield, 18, no, doggone, alright, yeah, so we'll quit out of that for a while. That was a winner. That was a good one. Let's try. How many more games do we have to unpack? We'll unpack these remaining games, and then we'll maybe move on to our. Now this looks kind of fun. This looks like the closest thing based on what I saw in the catalog. And there is a digital store on here. This looks like the closest thing to a WarioWare type thing that this system has to offer at this point. Multitasking. So helping credits. Multitasking is a minimalist game about playing multiple games at once, kind of like rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time. Games on the left control the D-pad. Games to the right control the crank. Okay. Alright. Easy. Okay, we'll get this. We'll start. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so silly. Oh wait. Okay. Okay. Oh wait. Wait, I don't get. Okay. Okay. ZIP. Okay. Hold on. We want to go... No, I didn't mean to go to... I didn't mean to quit out the game entirely. So, start game easy. There we go. I think this should be more reasonable. Okay. 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 Alright, this is more reasonable. Okay. 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 Oh, okay. Now I couldn't figure out how to turn the Tetris block, okay? Okay. Okay. So now... Okay. Okay, now I get now that I understand. Oh no, okay, we bungled that one. Okay. Alright. Okay. Okay, mud. Okay, we're going up this time. YRP? Okay, no, okay. Yerp? What is... I don't know what word that's supposed to be. Okay. Hit 2. Fin. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, you have to up on the deep... Oh, no, of course I bungle it. Okay. Alright. Fox. Okay. Hit 2. Okay. So we're heading down on the racing game on the right. Okay. Oh, pry. Okay. Alright. Yak. Unscramble. Wig. Clear 1 row. Yeah, the problem... I don't know what that A is about, but... Yeah, the problem with Tetris is that I keep pressing up to sort of warp the block down, which is a thing you could do in some of the newer Tetris games. Okay. And, that game is not built for that. Okay. We, I don't know if there's, more of these. Okay. F. Fly. Oh no. Okay, we messed. You can get hut. Break bricks. Our score is 79. Okay, we messed up the drinking game. Okay. Ice. We need ice for that drink on the right. Log. There we go. Escape. Okay. And we're driving up. Yeah, I don't know if there are more of these. Yeah. I don't know if there are more of these when we go to more advanced modes, but... You know, we need to get that G. Gap, there we go. Oh, and as right as we mess up the driving game. Escape. And don't spill. Oh, geez. E, E, L, F. Hit 2. Escape. Of course. Okay. Okay. No, we need the web. There we go. And redrive. No, 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 wrong way. Yeah, fortunately. Okay. Wow, that was actually pretty intense. Very disappointing in terms of the audio. Not much to it. And we lasted a full 5 minutes doing that. Wowie wow. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. See if we can beat our score. And yeah, these are individually actually pretty. They needed like, if there were 5 more of these little mini games, we'd be good. And the gravity does keep shifting on the don't spill the drink game. So, yeah, it is an active effort. It's not just a matter of holding the crank steady. Okay. So, oh no, I forgot to... Okay. Pay attention to the right side. Okay. No. Okay. No. Okay. We got... No. My reflex with Tetris is to play it like it's real Tetris. And it's not gonna work, okay. Okay, don't spill. Okay, escape. And escape. And yeah, once you set up the Tetris piece, it's very easy to just let it jet. Okay. Wig, escape. Oh no, I cranked in the wrong direction. So if we down here, it's 50, and clear 1 row, unlock as sip, not from the cup though. Okay. No. Okay, that was close. I almost snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. And I did, yes, and I did mean to put it that way. Like, I almost undid an easy win for myself, is what I mean. Okay, and okay. And I very specifically just was not paying attention that one time. I just got too wrapped up in one side of the board. Okay. Hit 2. And left, down, down. Okay, almost oh no, okay. I'm actually going to see if I could break 100. Because I got a lot further already. Yeah, now that I know what I'm doing, this is almost too easy. Oh, come on. And of course, as I say that... I don't know what that A is supposed to be. Okay. I'll check the rules, see what the A is next time. 90. If we could get to 100, I'll be happy. Okay. Now. No! Doggone. Okay. No need to lose both. Okay. Pod. Okay. Cry. And escape. And don't spill. Okay, we broke 100. And I'm not going to mess up. I am generally going to see how far I can get. Clear 1 row. So that's good. Okay. We clear that. Don't spill. Hit 2. Clear 1 row. Unlock. Don't spill. Clear 1 row. Don't spill. Yeah, they needed like 5 or 6 more of these, and then we'd have a good set, even just for this easy mode alone. Oh no. Okay. Okay. No. Wig. That. Okay, don't spill. Nag. No. Nag. Okay. 1. Got them both almost simultaneously. Yeah, even what's clearly meant to be a rhythm game just has like some awkward tapping as the audio. Oh no. Okay. Alright. So let's see. 137. Okay. So helping credit, skims to the left, control to the right. Occasionally an extra heart will provide. Mash the... Oh, okay. I see what you... Mash the A button quickly. Yeah, I'd be playing infinitely if I knew about mashing the A button to catch the heart. Alright. Let's try... normal again? Okay. Okay, now that I... that? Okay. Yeah, for a second I was like, what is Tav? Okay. And left, up. And, oh. Yeah. Yeah, another one of those, okay. Let's see. Okay, I missed. Okay. So hit 3. Down, up, left. Okay. And escape. Yeah, it's more of an actual maze this time. Alright. So that does it for that game. Gave it a good 15 minutes. Mecha Kong saying they will not be good at that game. Yeah. Well, let's see what's our remaining game that I purchased separate from the 2 seasons that we've got here. Bunny Buffet. I forgot what this is or what it's about. Makes it sound like, I don't know, like you're eating rabbits? Use the crank to move left and right. Catch carrots to score points. Avoid garlic. Alright, so this is basically... Kaboom? Alright. So, Kaboom. Okay. This is not what I would. This is not what I would think of as rabbit eating carrots music. Now, now the Mansta is saying, I feel like the target demographic for that game was people who got a boner from bullet hell games. You know, it's funny. I've never really succeeded at like actual like Danmaku bullet curtain like bullet hell shooters, but I've played, what is that game? Hold on, I have the cartridge right here. Solar Striker for the Game Boy a lot. I never beaten it. That's one of those games I need to go back and beat. And I have Ikaruga, which I used to play back on the GameCube, and I have the legendary Radiant Silver Gun. Yeah, Monsters pretty much like, hey, you want to play 2 WarioWare games? I don't know why it's describing you as a first-time chat in my interface. You've been like a routine appearance for a number of years at this point. But this is like, yeah, I hope this gets harder. Yeah, this is one of, actually no, you know what? This is one of those super calm, and you know what? You can move with the D-pad, it's just a lot slower. Yeah, it actually like is showing me like, oh, first time chatter, you know, the Mansta. I'm like, no, I've seen you around in here, I'm sure. If not, then I've just seen you in other people's chats so regularly that you're just a familiar face on Twitch in general. Yeah, yeah, so, the Mansta, have you seen a lot of games for this? Is this your first exposure to this system? And this little circle we move in it probably wouldn't be, maybe not, but I know there's some people in chat today who never heard of this system until today. And this system is very much, oh, we actually got minus points. It's very much, like, very Tiger-like, but we played a Japanese-style train sim that was actually had, like, photorealistic, like, graphics that I think might be, like, digitized, like, black, like, video file somehow. It was very interesting. But, oh, okay, so if you're a Teenage Engineering fan, you know what's going on here. Have you ever heard of a system of sort of a system that's not quite, as a system called the Cyberco from like 2000, 2001? A lot of these games remind me of the Cyberco, actually. It was a very strange system in that the resolution and the way the games were presented blew the Game Boy out the water. But in terms of the ambition of the games, the Game Boy completely eclipsed the Cyberco. And what the Cyberco was basically a PDA, it's a PDA with an emphasis on gaming and local wireless text chatting. That was pretty much a short-range walkie-talkie version of everything you could do with a modern smartphone, except for there was even actual voice walkie-talkie function. So there was even like, you couldn't make phone calls with it, but you could talk to someone within like about 300 feet range, and when you had a bunch of them together, the range would daisy chain. So you could be playing, you could get into different chat rooms and talk to people, you know, and of course this thing was basically made for, you know, secret communications in public schools pretty much, you know, in middle school, high school, in an age before most kids even had cell phones, let alone, you know, texting on phones. But yeah, I've seen pocket operators at, you know, at computer shops. Yeah, that's the only device aside from the Playdate that I've actually seen in person. Well, we're closing in on 100 points already. Do you lose? Wow, you don't even lose. Yeah, this game is as chill as you can possibly get because you don't even lose rabbits for missing carrots. So this is like Kaboom, but even like simpler. Now, I need to catch up in chat here. Now, Matt's is saying they heard of that thing when it came out 25 years ago. They managed to forget about it. It does look familiar and very cool, though. Now, so the funny thing for me is that for most teenagers of that time period who were in high school or middle school, it was an opportunity to covertly communicate, you know, not just passing notes within a class, but actually, like, you know, communicating in between classrooms, in between different floors of the same school building, playing wireless games together. For me, it was a productivity tool. Because I have a fine motor disability that made handwriting slow, painful, difficult, and the results look like a kindergarten student at best. If I tried, you know, with my... And I could not keep up and function in a normal classroom setting. It's an actual... I have a... You know, it was an actual neurodevelopmental disorder that was clinically diagnosed at a university. And as part of my accommodations, I was actually carting a computer around with me from between my classes. At first it was an Apple II, and then it became a Macintosh. And with the Cyberco, because it had a full-fledged QWERTY keyboard and a full-fledged word processor that you could actually, you know, upload the documents to a computer and print them out, it was the first time I had portable word processing capabilities. So I could just sit at my desk like any other student and write. And, you know, if you didn't know what I was doing, it looked like I was playing a game. But, you know, with my accommodations and my, teachers knew what was going on, it was very liberating to be able to actually just sit at my desk and not be sitting on a wheeled cart, you know, computer at the back of the classroom, and just being able to function like a normal student. Now, eventually in 2001, I actually got a G3 iBook. That was how I operated throughout most of high school. But, hold on. Now, they were selling Motorola two-way pagers when that came out. Pretty similar piece of tech. Had a handspring visor back then. Had some interesting games. I had a beeper, actually, in my first year of high school. It didn't last long, but I did have a beeper at one point. Yeah, I had probably one of the last beepers. Hold on a second. I gotta go check something out real quick. Sorry, I'll be right back. Hold on a second while I awkwardly stare at the screen. Alright, I'm back. Okay. That was exciting, but fortunately it did not involve me, and everything's okay. So, Now, the Mecha Kong in chat, to catch up with chat, Mecha Kong is saying that, hold on, that dumb phones are having a comeback moment with Gen Z. I could believe it. No, I'm thinking about getting a like a simple Nokia phone just so I could, you know, move around. Oh, I forgot to pause. All right. Well, you know what? Yeah, I'd say that this is... I think we've seen enough of that game. I'm probably never going to play it again. Yeah, like, it's a little too easy. And I say that as someone who's like an easy mode aficionado. Alright, so we've, I've got a few games here. I've never played this. I've never actually played this. So, manual. Fundamentals. Left or right, select one of the 3 reels. Crank or up and down to spin the selected reel. Spin a reel downwards to activate items. Activate 3 of the same item for double effects. Collect as much treasure as possible. Each monster carries 10 treasures. The more you defeat, the stronger they become. Yeah, hey, Mansta. You know, I never actually played cribbage. I just well, here. Okay, actually, I'll tell you what happened. So I'll tell you what happened with this game, with cribbage. So this game, the Royal Game of the Goose. We'll open this up real quick. So we've got this board game here, and apparently this board game is one of the first known, like, you know, there are those ancient board games like Mancala and Backgammon that are just from time immemorial. But then this is one of the first board games that was kind of like themed and mass-produced and marketed. And here are the rules in the center. So you have this digital recreation of the board game. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But guess what? Yeah, single player only. Isn't that great? A single player only game on a a 2 player only game on a system that does not have wireless multiplayer, which means the only way to actually play this game is to pass the Playdate back and forth. So I just, silly me, you know, like buying a digital board game expecting there to be a 1-player mode. So and I bought this at the same time as I bought cribbage, so I just assumed that cribbage would not have a 2-player mode. And I just didn't bother opening it. But when I opened it, there's not only is there a single player mode, there's actually a mode to teach you how to play, because I actually don't know how to play this game. My introduction to this looks really that looks actually pretty complicated. That slot machine game, Ouroboros. Let's play this. Yeah. Yeah, my first exposure to cribbage was on the Bluebell Railway in England, when the train was mostly empty because everyone was out on the platform listening to the jazz band that was performing. I saw a cribbage board sitting on the table and some cards that had just been left there, and I heard of cribbage. I didn't know it involved a certain sort of board. I'll probably learn it on my own time through this system, through this game, through that version of the game, because I want to learn more card games. Like, I want to someday I'll have a stream just of what was that? The Clubhouse games for Switch, 52 Worldwide Classics or whatever it is. I don't know if it's 52, but I guess I want to think 52 because 52 cards in a deck and whatever. So D-pad is to move, A is to redo, B is to undo. Crank is to undo, optional. So let's see what this game actually is. I bought this game, I forgot what it was even supposed to be. Okay, so you can choose the levels. And Mekong saying they still need to make some attempt at becoming Hey, nice. Okay, so we're just trying to... So it's Snake, but with a goal of trying to eat your own tail. Okay. There's no limit to... Yeah, there's no limit to how many moves you can make. Yeah, I have a Go teaching game thing for the Switch, but the thing about it is that it's the translation was performed by someone with very limited English skills, and I don't want to knock them because on one hand, I remember there being moments where it actually was genuinely confusing, where I didn't know exactly what they meant. But a game on teaching to play a Go it was an inspired choice to even attempt to market that in the United States at all and localize it. No. Oh. I did it. And Mekong saying that the book by who is it? Joe Chikun, I believe, is one of the books. I had to throw a bunch out, unfortunately, because I had it in a backpack that I guess, I don't know, was like, or it was in a suitcase that I guess wasn't ventilated well, or something was going on. And like it had like mold growing on it somehow, like, but it wasn't like black mold. It was just weird. I don't know how it happened, but I had to throw everything in that suitcase out. Oh, okay. That's one nice thing, Mansta. I don't know if I might be self-evident by, you know, just me doing this stream. But all you have to do to stream this game is download a program called Mirror from Playdate, and you could just plug your USB-C cable in and start playing. I never thought that this would be... Okay, we're gonna have to get... Yeah, this, like... And I was kind of saying this earlier about one of the games I was playing before, but like games like this, I know we call like Tetris or like Panel de Pon, Puzzle League, or Columns, or like we call these puzzle games, right? But honestly, I think this is more of a legitimate puzzle game. There we go. And that, you know, yeah, this is more of a legitimate puzzle game than anything that Tetris offers, in a sense. I know we call it a puzzle because, oh, we're fitting pieces together like a jigsaw puzzle. But in terms of the literal, like, actually, like, having to think your way through moves and, like, being able to... In terms of, like, you know what? I figured it out. Tetris isn't a game in which you're trying to find a solution to a problem. You have pieces in the manner of a puzzle. No. We have to start here. We have to make enough space for me to clear out down there, I think. No? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do think that game, The Moon is Our Friend, that game was really missing having even a basic little beep boop doot doot type soundtrack like what this offers. Okay, no, you're gonna go back. Okay. No, doggone, we're so close. You know what? I guess, hold on. How many shy were we? We're 2 shy. We're gonna have to fill up that spot. Okay. Yeah, the crank does make a convenient way to rewind back. Okay. And you know what I love? Okay, that's the okay. Now it should work. And one thing I love about you know, those Go servers. Yeah, Go servers tend to have, when you play the game Go Online, Go servers tend to have an interface that looks like 30 years out of date, and it's amazing. It reminds me of like, you know, like, it reminds me of how, okay, there we go. Yeah, looking at, you know, dedicated Go servers reminds me of how computer interfaces looked when I was a really little kid. Yeah, this is kind of like, yeah, especially with the monochromatic graphics, it's very reminiscent of Etch-a-Sketch. Okay. I think... No, not quite. But if we... Okay. Oh, so close. You know what? There we go. Oh, you just need to... You need to find a way to waste a little more... Gain some more space, I guess. No. There we go. Nice. Yeah, this is, it's not, I mean, none of these, actually, some of these games actually are an audio-visual extravaganza, even if in only, 2 colors. I don't think that was... I think that will be remembered as a suboptimal move. Okay. And, oh. Okay, so... Okay, so... Okay, so if we... Huh. You know what? I think... Okay, so if we start here... No. We're stuck. Okay, we gotta... Okay, we gotta find a way to... There's a way to do this. And, okay. This is the first, like, level I consider deeply challenging. Okay. Okay. Okay, no, we gotta go. No, we block ourselves in there. Okay, no, we got it. Okay, there we go. We close that. Okay. Now if we... Yeah, there's no way we could do that. Okay. No, gotta... If you go down, right, up. Yeah, it's not even like... Okay. Gotta rewind. So this is the starting point. Huh. You know what? I keep going up first. Who says I need to do that? Oh yeah, this is working out much better already. Yeah, I don't know why I was so fixated on starting out in that one direction I kept going in. Well, I'm closer than I've been, I could say that. Okay. Alright. Okay. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna... The crank is useful for rapidly undoing things, but... Okay, so... Okay, so... There we go. With a little less space. Okay. Okay, so if we go down 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Okay. 3. No, we need to go up, down. No, we wasted a spot here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're like 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. I'm gonna have to... There's a way to get 100%. There has to be. There has to be some way to get 100% coverage, and it's gonna have to involve us coming down through there. That has to be our final move for this to work. Okay. Now that I have a more okay. Okay, I know. No. Okay. Azure saying, yeah, this is... Yeah, I know you like your puzzly problem-solving type games. Okay. 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 So up. No. Gonna have to go left. No. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's gotta be some way. Okay. So if I... Okay. Okay. So if we go down here... No, we gotta... Zag through here. No, okay, I did the same thing again. Alright. Yeah, this is good. It's just not exciting. This is a good game, it's just not very exciting. And I would say that yeah, this is... Yeah, like, there's something... To go back to our starting point. Okay. Oh, you know what? I think I might have got it. I think I might have gotten it. I think. Yeah, I know. Our time is up for this game. Oh, yeah. Okay. I did that just experimentally. Oh, I got it. I gotta find my way through that. How can I? No, okay. No, okay. How did I? I'm so very close. I want to take the screenshot. I'm so very close, but we're out of time for this game. I'm giving each of these games it's roughly 15 minutes of fame today. So, Space Master. Is this going to be... Let's see what this turns out to be. Music hype. Okay. So we got some cool music so far. I'll scratch my neck a bit. Cool music so far. Alright. Oh, we have to use the crank. Okay. Game over, greed spreads against the galaxy, and resources become scarce and valuable beyond your wildest dreams. Okay. Alright, nice and uplifting. A game over screen. Alright, so holding the B button. Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness. I don't like the feel of this, honestly. It's present. Okay. Alright. Crank the... I don't like having to stop to crank. Because now I feel like I have to have the crank... And maybe stop to crank to do something. Okay. And I think that's kind of asinine. Because reaching... You don't want to play... Have the crank... It's not... Yeah, it's not, It's not very fun to have... To keep reaching for the crank. And, in the middle of just playing the... You don't want to have the crank... It doesn't feel comfortable to hold the system with the crank at. Like, the train game was different because I wasn't holding the controller like a gamepad. I mean, I wasn't holding the system like a gamepad. I was holding the system like a train controller, I guess, is the best way I could say it. So that the lever was facing up. Okay. So to stop to use the crank, and then that's when I get blown up. Okay. Game over. Smell spreads across the galaxy. Wait, are these ships helping? I don't... Let's see if there's something I could read, because this is very confusing. Okay. So there are multiple ships. And we have to... Oh, crank down to shop, crank up to launch. Okay. See, even that was like... That's the... Okay, so I guess the stars are our money. I'm frustrated by the I guess, lack of explanation for all this. Like, there are those ships at the beginning that look like they're shooting at us, but then it's like helping us. Like it's giving us shields and stuff. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, and I don't know. The ship feels. This does not feel like solid, like with like something like Stinger or Zero Wing. It feels very. It has this weird acceleration to it, and it's hard to really aim at anything. Now I have to stop and crank. This is where I keep dying. Okay. And it keeps saying, oh, violence spreads across the galaxy, this and that. How does a breakout clone have set in space? Have more, like, actually explained lore? Is this a boss? Like, who is this? What is this? Has more properly So why is there... What is that bubble around my ship? I don't get it. Okay, so if I hold A and... Yeah, this is... I would say this is definitely... It's not... Like the... Like the Moon is Our Friend had no music in it. But I'd say... I didn't even get into the slot machine game. But I'd say... The Moon is Our Friend is that was a good game, even though it had no music at all, pretty much. And whereas this has, you know, more well-presented graphics, I guess, but like the gameplay, there seems to be hinting to some sort of lore. There's no explanation of how shields work. You have to stop in the middle of this auto-scrolling space shooter. To physically... the crank on the system, by the way, is retractable. It's meant to fold into the system when you're not using it. And it does not feel comfortable having the crank extended while you are just casually holding the system and not using the crank. Or so, because there's some games where you hold... Okay, now we have to hold... Alright. So you have to stop, pull it out, then put it back away when you're done. It's like, this is not very impressive. Okay. So, oh, I got some money. This is the best. Was that the end of the stage? I don't feel like I even played that. Is it about shooting a certain number of enemies that ends the stage? So choose your upgrades. Hull, thanks to your love, the hull will take bigger beating before being lasted to bits. Jet thrusters, newly discovered fuel blend use leftover grease from buffets to increase thrust. Smaller bullets, making the bullets smaller, we allow the guns to fire much faster. Allows your guns to shoot. You know, like they wrote all of this for the game, but they didn't like explain. You know, even like with any site, with so many side-scrolling shooters. A simple explanation of the factions involved. Like, just any kind of explanation of the motivations of the characters, the setting. Alright, so now I have to stop and crank again. Okay, this is silly to me. Game over, darkness spreads. You know, but they don't say, like, who the factions are that are fighting. This is making me yawn too much. You know? So, the only games we have not played... So, yeah, so Frizzle, this game right here, we're saving this for later. And just a little spoiler, we are going to be playing... We're going to be playing We're going to be playing Playdate next Saturday. the first stream of the year, Saturday the 3rd of January. But next time I want to place more of a focus on these Season 1 games that everyone plays. Because of all these season-included games we played are Hyper Meteor and this 360 game. I opened Long Puppy. I don't even remember what it is. That's a Season 2 game. But this I played briefly. It didn't really get. But I'd say I think I've accomplished what I wanted to do with this stream. And I'm very happy with this. So I'm going to probably call it about there. Let's see if there's anyone I'm familiar with who's on right now. Hey, you know who's... Hold on. Thwill Arts is on. They do a lot of art and drawing, and a lot of it has Metamorphosis themes. But right now, they're playing Hollow Knight. So, hold on. So I'm gonna send y'all over to them, and say hi from me. I'll see you all next time, and thanks for watching. And yes, no, I'm not doing a New Year's Eve stream. This is the last stream of the year. I'm Mechacon, Clackaboy, and thanks for the and thanks everybody. I'll see you all next time, and see you all next year, and thanks for watching.